Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Ben Quann. I'm an associate broker here at Century 21 Redwood Realty. We're located just about an hour south of DC. And after helping 40 families last year, I would like to give you a few tips and tricks if you're planning on getting your real estate license. Check it out. First things first, you have to get your real estate license. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. One thing to keep in mind is I'm based out of Virginia, so every state could have their own little regulations, but here in Virginia, it's a 60-hour course. You can take it online or you can take it in classroom. So you have to take a 60-hour course to get all the basic information. Then you have to pass the test with the classroom or in the classroom setting. And then you can move on to take your federal and state test. That's going to be, like here in Virginia, there's a couple different proctored exams that go on to hold your license at what's called DPOR that pretty much regulates your licensing. One thing I can say, it took me a few tries. It took me actually 2 tries. It's not the easiest exam to pass, but I will promise it's one of the easiest things when you're getting your real estate license to actually start your real estate career. Once you get your license, it's a whole different ball game. So getting your license is a big step in the very beginning, but it's going to be one of the easiest things you do. So now that you got your real estate license, you have to join a brokerage. Brokerage is essentially a place that holds your license so you can do business. Those are like Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams. There's a pile of them out there. They can be small mom and pop shops, or they can be these gigantic franchise or corporate setting brokerages. One thing I can say is you need to join a brokerage that has a lot of training. A lot of people fail out of real estate and they say, well, we were just kind of thrown at the wolf, like fed to the wolves, and they never taught us anything, because they don't really have to. As long as you don't get them in trouble. If you sell houses, you make money and they make money. If you don't, they don't lose any money, so it doesn't really matter. So a lot of people, there's about an 80% turnover rate in real estate, and that's because honestly, they join brokerages for like money, like with agent splits and stuff, and we'll break that down at the very last thing. But the one thing I can say is you just need to join a brokerage that has a good real estate training program. Go underneath someone, so kind of a mentorship. I highly recommend that. That's what I did. I went under an agent that was 30 years in the business, so it was very nice seeing all the steps and tricks that she does to teach me in my business now. And lastly, what you could do, you could join a team. Now, teams are a little bit different because they're established, and these gigantic teams have a lot of leads coming in, and then they hand you a lead and you have to convert the lead. So it's good to have you get a lot of volume that way, and they'll teach you how to convert leads, and then, of course, treat your clients right and get the job done. The downside with the team is the team's going to take a split. So not only will the company take a split, your team will take a split, and you're just left with a little bit less. But you don't have the huge overhead of running your own team or running your own business, say with an assistant or something like that. You get a lead, you work it, close it, and you move on. It's a great way to get started in the business. I would highly recommend that too. Now, thirdly, a lot of people like people until you get into sales atmosphere, and then you don't like people nearly as much. But real estate is a contact sport. You have to be able to talk to folks. There's been a lot of studies done, but say an agent that's been around the business 10 years, like myself or someone else, they can pretty much get to 30 to 40 conversations, real estate related conversations, to get that lead. So say if I talk to 30 people, someone's gonna have a friend that wants to buy or a family member that wants to buy or sell, and they will give me their contact information, something along those lines. All comes down to conversations. Now, as a newer agent, it's more like 80 conversations or 120 conversations to get that lead. Now, lead doesn't mean you have a closed deal. You still have to convert that lead into a closing or a sale. It all comes down to conversations. Now, how I keep all these conversations in line, I have this thing that's called a database, which is pretty much everybody that knows, likes, and trusts me in real estate. It could be family, friends. It could be the people who cut your hair. It could be all sorts of different people, but people that know, like, and trust you. And then I keep them in a thing called a CRM. The CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, which is just like a hub. It could be index cards for all you care, but there's a lot of programs out there. All right, the 4th and 5th sections of my notes I have here, a lot of people think that they can create their own schedule, which you can, but just keep in mind you're in a commissions-based job now, so if you don't work, you don't get paid. You don't have a boss that's going to be pushing you to do any production because they're not the ones paying you. Time management is probably one of your biggest keys here, and I run a schedule just like a 9 to 5 job. Mine ends at 2 p.m., so if I don't have any appointments, I'm done for the day. But it's a very powerful morning routine, say like going to work out. It could be praying, it could be meditation, whatever you want to do, but a morning routine, and then go into the office. That's another big key. Go into the office so you can learn from those older agents. If I have 12 people that contact me at once and I can't work them all, you know, if you're standing around, I'm probably going to hand you a lead to go work. Go into the office and set yourself up on a schedule. Now it's going to change for everybody, but I'll probably do a whole nother video on my morning routine and my schedule at some point. We'll do that later. Fifth and final is how the money actually breaks down. So I've had a lot of people come to me and said that they're going to make all this money by selling $100,000 houses, and it's just not really true. By the time you actually break it down, it's a lot less. One statistic that I'd like to point out is the average realtor in the United States right now is making about $41,000, and that's before tax. So how real estate commission works is you have to sell the house, you have to buy that, you have to bring the buyer to the house. You could do leases too, but I'm not going to really get into that. So real estate commissions based off like a 2.5 or 3% of that sales price. So let's break it down. If I sell a $200,000 house, that's a $6,000 commission. $6,000 gross commission, keep that in mind. Most brokerages are going to want a cut of that too. So let's just say if we're on a 70-30 split, so I get 70% of that $6,000, my brokerage takes 30% of that. That knocks you down another $1,800, which leaves you about $4,200 out of that $6,000. But then you also have to take out taxes because Uncle Sam's always going to get theirs. Roughly 30%, 20% of that $4,200, which would take you down another $1,200, which equals you out to $2,800. So that leaves a $2,800 take home. Now you still have to run your business. You have to buy signs, you have to buy lock boxes, business cards, all your advertisement on that $2,800. I'll do probably another video with how I break down my money too, just to kind of show you a basis on that. So sometimes you see these agents that are making $300,000 GCI. It really doesn't mean a whole lot because they could have spent $200,000 or $250,000 to make that $300,000. All in all, real estate's a very rewarding business. Like I said, I had the chance to help over 40 families last year, but it does take commitment. A lot of long days, nights, weekends when your clients are off. As you can see today, I'm kind of wearing a hoodie, but I've been out in the field all day helping a septic field that was going completely wrong, and we're still dealing with that right now. It takes commitment because you're going to be working long hours, especially in the beginning. So anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like videos like this, please like and subscribe for more. Thank you. Bye.